about in the courts of kings and on the decks of explorers' ships. It was known by a name that just promised treasure, Ratnadweepa, the Gem Island. So today, we're going to dive into Sri Lanka, a place where history, geology, and culture all crash together to create some of the most magnificent gemstones the world has ever seen. Okay, let's get into it.
But first, here's a little surprise. Ever use the word serendipity? Well, believe it or not, you have Sri Lanka to thank for it. The word actually comes from serendip, which was an ancient Persian name for the island. It was coined way back in the 18th century to describe making happy, unexpected discoveries, which, perfectly captures the island's reputation as a land of amazing, fortunate finds.
And look, this reputation is not new. We're talking centuries of awe here. Even the legendary explorer Marco Polo was just completely captivated back in the 13th century. He wrote about the island's unbelievable wealth of gems. This wasn't some local secret. It was a global phenomenon that pulled in traders from all over, Rome, Persia, China, all along the ancient maritime Silk Road.
So, how on earth did this small island become such a powerhouse for precious stones? Well, the answer lies deep in the earth, in a geological story that kicked off over 1 billion years ago. The staggering part is just how ancient the island's foundation is. A full 90% of Sri Lanka is made of Precambrian rock. And see, most of the gem deposits are found in this one specific region, the Highland Complex, where intense heat and pressure created the perfect underground kitchen for, well, cooking up crystals.
But here's where the magic really happens. Over millions of years, weather and erosion just hammered away at that mother rock. All the softer minerals, they just washed away. But the incredibly hard gemstones, they survived. Rivers carried them down from the mountains and deposited them in these concentrated layers of gravel in the valleys. These special gem-rich layers are known locally as ilam, and they're the whole reason miners can even get to these treasures today.
Now, of all the incredible gems found in those riverbeds, none is more famous than Sri Lanka's national treasure, the sapphire. Scientifically, it belongs to the corundum family, which also includes its fiery red cousin, the ruby.
So, get this. Chemically, corundum is just aluminum oxide. But what makes it so special is its hardness. It's a solid 9 on the Mohs scale, which makes it the second hardest natural mineral on Earth, right behind diamond. This incredible toughness is exactly why sapphires can survive that journey, over millions of years from the mountains all the way to the riverbeds.
Of course, geology is only half the story. To get a gem from a rough stone buried in the mud to a sparkling jewel requires a tremendous amount of human skill, tradition, and pure artistry.
And that whole process doesn't start with a shovel. It starts with reverence. Before any digging even begins, miners perform these rituals that have been passed down for generations. They make offerings to local deities like salmon for protection, and they pray to specific gods for specific gems, like Vishnu for sapphires and Kataragama for rubies. It's this powerful reminder that this is way more than a job. It's a sacred pursuit.
What's so fascinating is how this deep reverence for tradition exists right alongside modern technology. In the mines, you'll find this incredible blend of old and new. On one hand, you have traditional Ratnapura pit mining, where miners dig vertical shafts and tunnels by hand, relying on knowledge that's centuries old. And then, right next to that, you've got these huge modern operations using excavators to reach deeper. The two just coexist, balancing cultural preservation with economic productivity.
And once a stone is found, the real transformation begins. For centuries, cutters used a traditional hand-powered wheel called a hana parua. The goal was super simple: save as much of the precious stone's weight as possible. But then, in the 1970s, modern faceting machines from Japan showed up and completely revolutionized the industry. The focus shifted. It was now all about getting those precise, brilliant cuts that the global market was demanding, unlocking a gem's inner fire, even if it meant sacrificing a little bit of carat weight.
The results of all this geology and craftsmanship, well, they are nothing short of legendary. Some of the most famous and valuable gems in all of human history have come out of the rich soil of Sri Lanka.
Okay, get ready for this. In 2015, miners in Ratnapura unearthed this absolute behemoth, the Star of Adam. At over 1,400 carats, it is the largest blue star sapphire ever found. Its name is tied to the legend that Adam arrived on the island after being cast out of paradise. Its estimated value is in the hundreds of millions, but it's just a fantastic example of the incredible potential still hiding inside that island. And the Star of Adam is in very good company. You've got the Blue Bell of Asia, a stunning sapphire that sold for a record-shattering $17.5 million. Then there's the flawless Logan Sapphire, which you can go see for yourself at the Smithsonian. And the Star of India, so famous it was the target of a legendary museum heist in New York. Every single one has a story, and every one of those stories begins in Sri Lanka.
But you know, these gems are so much more than just valuable things to sell. They are deeply woven into the very fabric of Sri Lankan identity, its culture, and its economy.
Take the concept of the Navaratna, which means the 9 gems. In Hindu and Buddhist tradition, these 9 specific stones are directly linked to 9 celestial bodies. The belief is that wearing them together brings you balance, protection, and good fortune. This just goes to show you, these gems aren't just seen as ornaments, they're seen as cosmic talismans.
And on a national level, the industry's importance is just undeniable. It's all regulated by the National Gem and Jewelry Authority, and the gem trade is the 3rd largest source of export income for the entire country. It's a modern economic engine powered by an ancient natural resource. So in the end, Sri Lanka's story is really one of a delicate balance between the sacred and the scientific, tradition and technology, heritage and commerce. And that leads to the great challenge for its future. In a world of changing markets and new tech, how will the island balance its ancient traditions with modern demands to make sure the incredible legacy of the Gem Island shines on for generations